What if I told you that 5 rental properties, not 50, not 500, could hand you your resignation letter in 10 years? We're not talking lottery tickets or crypto moonshots. We're talking brick, mortar, and a spreadsheet that actually makes sense. Let's be real though, you've probably heard this pitch before, maybe at a weekend seminar where the guy on stage was selling the dream harder than the deal. But here's what's different today. Interest rates, home prices, and rent growth have collided into one of the most complicated setups for new landlords in a generation, and ignoring that tension won't make it disappear. So why 5 properties specifically, and why 10 years? Think of it like compound interest wearing a hard hat. Each property isn't just cash flow, it's equity building quietly in the background while a tenant essentially pays down your mortgage every single month. The catalyst for this whole conversation is simple. Inflation made renting feel permanent for millions of people, which ironically made owning rentals feel more lucrative than ever. Rents in major metros climbed 30, 40, even 50% over just a few years. And suddenly your landlord neighbor who bought in 2019 looks like a quiet genius. But let's pump the brakes on the champagne, because that same run-up scared a lot of optimistic investors who bought at peak prices with thin margins, expecting the good times to keep rolling. Now, some of those folks are sitting on properties that barely break even, wondering why nobody mentioned vacancy months, roof replacements, or the tenant who decides your refrigerator is, apparently, their personal nemesis. The psychological whiplash is real. 1 month, you're reading headlines about passive income revolutionaries retiring at 35, and the next, you're on a landlord forum at 2 in the morning asking if you can legally charge for emotional damage. Experts like BiggerPockets, David Green, and countless independent investors will tell you the conviction is easy to find. But the discipline to execute without panic is where most people quietly fold. History has shown us, from the savings and loan crisis, to the 2008 collapse, to the post-pandemic correction, that real estate runs in cycles. And every single time, participants swear this one is different. It never fully is, and yet it never repeats so cleanly that you can just photocopy someone else's playbook and expect identical results. Here's how the math could actually work in your favor over 10 years. If each property nets you just $300 a month in cash flow after all expenses, 5 properties generates $18,000 a year in passive income. And that's before appreciation or equity paydown even enters the room. In 10 years, assuming conservative appreciation of 3% annually, a $250,000 property could be worth nearly $336,000, meaning your net worth is quietly stacking while you sleep. Now, the misconception I hear constantly is that you need to be rich to start, which is just not accurate. Many investors begin with a single house hack, living in one unit of a duplex, letting the other unit cover the mortgage, and use that first equity gain as the springboard to acquire the next property and the one after that. Another myth worth burying. Being a landlord means being on call 24/7 like a one-person maintenance circus. Property managers typically charge 8 to 12% of monthly rent. And for most serious investors, that cost is baked into the underwriting from day one, so the cash flow math still holds up. The practical lesson history screams at us is this: the investors who win over a decade aren't the ones who perfectly time the market. They're the ones who bought reasonable deals consistently, managed their risk per property, and never over-leveraged themselves chasing speed. Position size matters enormously here. Spreading into 5 modest properties with healthy reserves is far safer than betting everything on one flashy short-term rental in a market you've never visited. You want a disciplined framework, not a vibe. Run your numbers assuming 10% vacancy, a capital expenditure reserve of 5% of rents, and a management fee, even if you self-manage, because the day you stop self-managing, you want the numbers to still work. If the deal only pencils out under perfect conditions, it's not a deal, it's a prayer. There's something almost philosophical about this strategy when you step back. You're not trying to get rich overnight. You're building a system that rewards patience, and that's deeply unsexy in a world of viral trading accounts and overnight success stories. But the boring investor with 5 paid down properties in year 15 tends to outlast the exciting investor who swung big and got margin called into oblivion. Retire in 10 years with 5 rentals? Possibly, But it depends less on the properties and more on you, your process, your reserves, and your ability to stay rational when a water heater dies the same week as a vacancy. We can't control markets, rates, or tenants, but we can control how prepared we are for all three. And that preparation is the actual retirement plan. Whether the market cooperates or throws you curveballs, the investors who sleep well at night are the ones who bought with margin, sized their risk honestly, and played a long game with boring consistency. And that's a mindset available to anyone willing to adopt it. If you're ready to stop watching from the sideline and start building your own rental portfolio, check out our links in the description below where we can help you get started in real estate investing, connect you with home contracting work, and point you toward the right lenders.